And we are live. What is going on, everyone? It's your boy Johnny Dunn, and we are back with another one today. Another epic VeVe live stream. Today we just have one drop. It is another Marvel comic book blind box drop. Today we have Strange Tales issue number 180. I do think this one's going to be a hodl, probably long term. We have a super limited drop today. Only 10,000 total editions for it. Now in the short term, I'm not sure how it's going to do. I do like the fact that it's pretty limited, so I think that gives a good chance that it could do pretty well. Love the alien vibe on this one. Shout out to everybody joining the live stream today. We got JT in the building. First one in the chat trying to get a drop. Hopefully, people do well on this drop. I think it's going to be a tough one to get. I think a lot of people still are struggling, in the 30,000, 40,000 edition comics. And so today we only have 10,000 total editions. I think it's going to be another tough one. I don't even know if I'm going to be able to get one today, but I'm hoping for it. I will go over my strategy too after I show you guys what these covers look like today. I'll go over if I'm going to hodl, if I'm going to sell it. Depends on what I get. I do like the covers. This is what the common looks like. I'm a big fan of this common. I think it stands out pretty well. Got the uncommon there. Got the rare. Got the alien vibe. Let's go. This is the ultra rare. We do have VeVe exclusive covers today. And then the secret rare. Definitely a different vibe than we got than usual with the secret rare. I'm a fan of it though. Judgment Day. We got Warlock. I like it. My game plan for this one, if I do get a secret rare on this one, I probably will flip it. Even though there's only 250 editions. I'm going to go over the edition count too for these. My game plan, I just need some gems right now. And I want to stack up on a few different things before we do have another run up. And so because I don't think this is a holy grail comic book, I do think it could do well over time though. I think it's gaining popularity. Shout out to Comics and Crypto and their hodl or sell video. If you guys haven't checked that out, definitely go check that out. I think this one, just short term, depends on what drops next in the future with VeVe. We have a couple different drops coming up. I don't think it's going to do super amazing numbers, but I think the secret rare will do pretty decent. I would say a little bit more than usual, just because it does only have 250 editions. We have the ultra rare has 500 editions, the rare 1,000, the uncommon 2,250, and the common there's only 6,000 editions of these. So good chance that these could do pretty well in the short term, but I don't think it's going to be something that I'm going to be racing after in the marketplace to grab. I mean, maybe if I had 1,000 gems lined up right now, but I'm going to be kind of disciplined with my gem count if I did have a big gem bag right now. Mano, glad to be here. Appreciate you tuning in today. NFTs, how we doing, brother? Mano, ever since I started watching your lives, I got 2 out of 3 drops. Probably staying on the JD gate. Let's go. Shout out to all you guys tuning in for the first few times. I don't know what it is either, I feel like so many people just join the live stream. That the energy is contagious. Hopefully, you're able to pick something up when I go over my drop strategy and how I'm able to get these drops. Now, again, I always say too, if you've been killing it with those drops and you've been spamming away, I don't want to change anything with your strategy. Keep spamming away. But I'd like to offer a little different perspective for anybody that's maybe struggling on the drops, missing a little bit. I feel like the timing techniques definitely helped out a lot of people. So just glad to see that. And we'll be going over the market prices in just a bit too as well. I think the market's rebounding a little bit. Good to see. And I know there's a lot of that FUD going on in the atmosphere. And I think a lot of you guys tuning into lives understand by now. I think it's more so, a lot of different platforms. I feel like different platforms almost have their different energy. I feel like the YouTube live, I mean, you guys pretty much understand how it is with VeVe. I mean, you guys know the ups and downs. You guys aren't too worried about anything like that. But sometimes you go on different platforms, whether that be, sometimes on Facebook or sometimes in the Twitter community. Sometimes the vibes out there, the energy can be a little bit different than some other platforms, whether it be Instagram or even on the VeVe feed sometimes or just overall. So I feel like most of you guys understand, like just led, how we doing? Good luck to you as well. A lot of you guys have been here for a while now. I mean, the thing with VeVe is the Comey team, they're the best team in the world. Any kind of problem that we're going to face, any kind of obstacle, because this is still a startup at the end of the day. We're not going to have a smooth sailing ship 24/7. I mean, it'd be easy if that was the case, but we're always going to face different obstacles here and there. And so I feel like when you have a team like a Comey, I mean, most of us, I would say all of us, but I would say most of us have done our research on the Comey team. Nothing's changed, and I love the fact that anytime we face an obstacle, They're transparent about it. They're not trying to hide anything. They're transparent. They're going to fix the issue. Maybe some things get delayed, sure, but they're going to constantly work on the issue. You know, this is something that when you're tied to this, when you have these many licensed brands, I keep saying this all the time because sometimes I just like to go through the feed, the market, not even shop, but just look at the brands just to refresh my memory. Like, this is not a dream. You know, this is real life. This is revolutionary. That's why if you guys, I posted that one tweet from shout out to Crypto Far West. You know, if you guys haven't seen part 1, part 2 of WTF, what the F is VeVe, you guys definitely need to check that out. You know, I'm so glad he captured that one quote in there. I said, because that's where I feel like we're at right now again. People don't realize that this is history because we're in the midst of it. We're in the micro, you know, we're in the day-to-day. People checking prices, people checking, you know, the OMI token price. When you just stop and zoom out, yeah, things may be going a little bit slower than usual or slower than normal, whatever the case may be. Maybe when you compare it to, you know, rest of the crypto space, it's moving slow, but compared to the real world, they're moving at a rate that's unbelievable, to be honest. I just remember seeing, yeah, absolutely, man. Seeing the FUD just gets me more excited. Absolutely. And that's how I feel too. I'm glad you guys start to feel that same way, just because, you know, when you see FUD, when you see prices dip like that, for me, that does nothing but just create an opportunity. You know, I'm so glad to see so many people out there in the community that stayed strong with their conviction, doubled down, you know, really make a huge position in some of these huge like sets and just different collectibles, whether that's the Disney Golden Moments that just dropped. You know, I love to see it because we're going to see opportunities arise again and again. And as long as your conviction stays the same, as long as you stay convicted, I mean, I'm not telling you to become convicted in something that you don't believe in, but if you have that belief from the get-go, don't let distractions, you know, change your mindset. We're going to see more distractions in the future. And just remember, when people constantly, you know, question if this is still early, all this FUD just makes me reminded this is still early. Imagine what's going to happen when, I always say, season 7, season 8, maybe season 10. People are just going to be finding the VeVe app. People are just going to be downloading the VeVe app, starting their collection, one collectible, season 10. They're going to be saying, this app is amazing, running perfect. Can you only imagine if I was here season 1, 2, or 3? But it's like we're here right now in those moments that people are going to be wishing they were in. So if you don't want to capitalize on these moments, and that's fine too. Like, you know, I can't convince everybody to have that belief, but if you have that belief, I think it's important to stay convicted. Dana Ramus, how we doing, fam? Because we've seen it this summer. You know, shout out to anybody who was here from last summer, even the fall, last spring. The first hurdle, I would say, the first obstacle is when we went from 8,000 users to waking up 4 weeks later, 200,000 users or 180,000 users. 1 month. That would literally cripple, and it would hurt so many. You know, it would really be a downfall to so many companies out there. But the Comey team, guess what? They went hard. They went to work. Maybe some delays happened, which made some people, you know, angry, upset. But they had to re-engineer the whole entire app to hold this many users. And that's the other thing, too. When you have this many users, millions and millions of users, you can't please everybody. You know, no matter what they do, there's always going to be some complaints. And whether they're loud or they're not loud, I mean, that depends if you hear them or not. That's why, too, if you hear a lot of loud voices on Twitter, it doesn't mean that's the majority. That could just be a few loud voices that are voicing their opinion that want to be heard. So I think it's important just to, you know, zoom out sometimes because we all get, you know, sucked into that micro. We got Christian J. Good luck. Yeah, exactly. It's William Peartree, you know, ignoring the noise. That's what I would say. Ignoring the noise, ignoring the distractions. And of course, you know, anytime you have concerns too, like if you have concerns, questions, it's important to, you know, go about those, maybe ask questions, concerns if you are concerned, because, you know, it's important to, you know, not just completely ignore any kind of negative problem too. You know, if you have concerns, that's okay too. But I think it's all about how you go about that. You know, your tone and how you handle it. Are you respectful in asking these questions or stuff like that? When I start seeing things like Dan and David, they can't handle a company like this. Like, it's just like, okay, there's a line of like disrespect and then kind of concern, you know, too. And so I feel like it's all about how you handle some of these things. All this FUD landing me 4 poos before the market closed. That is amazing. NFTs. Shout out to you. You know, it's one thing I wanted to stack some poos, Winnie the Poohs. I thought that was definitely one of the better ones out of that whole entire set. And I think Timon and Pumbaa is a good one too. But I definitely think Winnie the Pooh is probably the one. I think the popularity of that worldwide for how many decades now is unbelievable. But my game plan didn't go as I wanted, so I was able to get the whole set, but wasn't able to stack those poos. And like I just said, you know, that FUD creates an opportunity. When we had the market booming in January, so many people were saying, man, I want the FUD back. I want the prices just to be lowered one more time. And now it's like the prices are lowered one more time and the FUD's back. And now it's just scaring people because that's the psychology of it, you know. Anytime, you know, a sale happens in your favorite or in your favorite physical shoes or collectibles or anything like that, you know, people get happy. But then when the sales happen on your digital collectible, it's like, uh-oh, what's going on? JD, if you had about 700 gems to spend right now, what would you buy? I'm thinking about either Winnie or maybe 2 Wonder Woman FAs. I don't think you can go wrong with either of them. I'm a little bit more biased maybe towards the Disney Golden Moments. I mean, I have Wonder Woman too. I'm just a huge fan of Disney, of how big that IP is. Winnie the Pooh. When you're talking, you know, I don't think all of these golden moments are going to be as popular as some other ones. Like even in this set that just dropped, these Disney duos, I wasn't familiar with every single character that dropped. Now I think they're all going to be important, but I was definitely familiar with Timon and Pumbaa from Lion King, and then Winnie the Pooh. So that told me right away, wow, okay, if Johnny Dunn, if I know this stuff pretty well, that tells me the whole world's going to know it. And when I went and did the research, I looked up how big Winnie the Pooh was, and sure enough, that's huge. So the fact that it's Winnie the Pooh and it's Disney, it's a golden moment. I don't think you can go wrong with that one. Depends. I mean, would that be your first or your second Winnie the Pooh? Because I love getting duplicates of collectibles when I can. I mean, a second Wonder Woman FA, I don't think that's going to be a negative either. It might be a little bit more. I was going to say upside with Winnie, but depending on what Wonder Woman FA's price is, I'm going to look at them just a second. I'm going to get some more comments before I go over the market. Where we go, yeah, definitely some limited editions today. It's going to be tough on a drop. If I get a drop today, I'm going to be pretty happy about that one. Katsumasu, how we doing, fam? Do we know what tier this comic is today? I'm not sure what tier it would be in. Jason, good question. I would check out Comics and Crypto's Twitter rankings where he has his ranked at, where he has this one ranked at. I don't think this is going to be something that they're going to be, you know, rushing into the market to grab too much. But if they get it on the drop, they might hodl it. I think if I get a secret rare, I'd probably let it go. Maybe if I get an ultra rare, I do like the cover of that ultra rare. I may just hodl it just because I like it. But again, if I don't get it on the drop, I don't think you're going to find me scooping up a bunch of these in the market. I think if they come out under retail, though, I think people would scoop it up a bunch of these in the market. I just don't think this is going to be something that everybody's going to be, you know, spending all their money on right now. Good to see that those lenticular cards, you know, the supply's dropping big on them. I'm not sure if it's the delistings or people buying them up, but either way, I still think those lenticular cards are great. Maybe they won't see, you know, a huge pump until Series 2 comes out type thing, but I still got to get more of those as well. Let's go. Bought a Pride this morning. That's a big buy right there. Shout out to you, Horgo. I definitely love the Givenchy. That's the first ever Givenchy digital collectible. It's going to be big time. That's a luxury high-end brand right there. I had 2 of these at one point. I was a huge advocate of this one. The Pride, Givenchy. I actually have the Amelia for sale right now in the market. I have the whole set right now. I only have one of each currently. Keeping the Cleo just because I love the all gold. Rewind's dropping another one this month, supposedly, unless that got delayed. But I don't absolutely love Rewind Collective. Like I wasn't really that familiar with it. So I definitely want to collect some of their pieces, especially for the International Women's Month. You know, I wanted to keep that Cleopatra. I want to maybe get one of their new drops, but I don't have all the money in the world to be getting, you know, completing all of their sets. So wanted to keep the Cleo, definitely keeping that Givenchy Pride. And then thinking about letting that Amelia go. I have it for sale. I wanted to keep the logo though too. Thought about maybe letting the logo go once it gets up maybe at 1,000 range type thing. But that's the first edition. If they drop another logo on a different platform like Coinbase, I feel like Rewind could explode. So that's what also made me want to maybe keep the Amelia, but need some gems. So I do have that one for sale. I think Pride is going to be huge, Horgo. I would have kept my second Pride, but I let it go for that Walt, the second Walt. I was happy about that decision. But I love Pride, man. Horgo, that Givenchy is going to do big numbers, I think. Great pickup, man. I think it's pretty low, too. Let me go over the market. We only got like 12 more minutes left. Yeah, that's a good call right there, Menno. I think that's a good way to play it. You know, grab a Winnie the Pooh. I think having one, not financial advice, but is a must. A must for me. And then you can play the market that way. You know, if it dips, you know, don't feel like you just lost money. That's the time to grab a duplicate right there. That's probably what I would do. If it dips big, I mean, that would be the opportunity for me to get a duplicate as well, too. And then if it just keeps skyrocketing, which it probably will, then guess what? Then he just made a great pickup. So either way, I feel like it's a win. Yeah, it's definitely got some value in real life. I definitely think it's going to be a pretty decent one, long term hodling. But short term, I'm just not sure how it's going to do. I love the fact that it's super limited edition, so I think that gives it a boost. You know, I think that could do pretty well short term. I think it all depends on how the market opens. I think if the market opens up and there's only a couple available, we're going to see that price start out pretty high. And then as prices or as more and more people get their comic delivered, probably drops down in price a little bit. And then I see maybe a little bit of growth happening because people probably will be snatching a couple up to hodl. And then opposite way, if the market opens up and everybody has their comic delivered, which could happen because there's not that many of them this time. There's only 10,000 total editions to send out. I feel like the prices could start out kind of low and then work its way up kind of quickly. I don't think it's going to be skyrocketing, but I think there's definitely going to be decent growth there. Yeah, let me go over some of these prices now. Sounds like Pooh found the honey. Let's go. Shout out to all the Winnie the Pooh holders out there. Let's see. Let me go over the Givenchy ones. I'm gonna just picked up a Pride. Let me talk about this one. Yep, Pride Givenchy 5.6K. Did you get it in the 4K range? I'm pretty sure I saw one at like 4.9K. Jorgo, is that the one you picked up? I think that's a steal if you did get one in the 4K range. That's the range I let mine go. I let my Pride go at like 4K. That was the floor at the time. But I got Walt at 3K. So we made up for it. The Clio's at 2K. My Amelia's at the floor at 1.4. The logo's at 650. I expect that logo to go up to at least a K once they drop another one. That's one set that I wish I went harder on back then in the day when it first dropped. A lot of those rewind. The Givenchy was cheap. The Clio was cheap. All those House of Cards were cheap. The logo was cheap. Remember when the logo was like $70? How crazy is that? And it dipped down to like 50, and maybe even lower than that. Unbelievable. 10 more minutes till the market closes. Let me go over these golden moments. Starting off with the big hitter, we got the partner statue. Shout out to all the Walt holders out there. 21.5K, only 117 left in the market. Good to see that. Let's kind of go back in order. Let's see if I can remember how this went. We got Homer and Bart, 929. We got 168 left of these. Got the skateboard, 103 left of the skateboard. Wow, getting supplies dwindling down. 799 is the floor. Let's go Mickey hat, 122 left. I love the fact that the supply is dwindling big time on these first rounds of these golden moments that drop. Mickey hat, 1.9K. Elsa, 168 left. 1.5K is the floor. What dropped after Elsa? Was it Wally? Wally, 575 is the floor. 148 of these left. Get the pizza truck, 109 left. Back down pretty low. 649 is the price for the pizza truck. I think if that's what they're doing, if that's kind of confirmed, like the 50 golden moments in Disney World, which I don't think was their original game plan, but they probably made it into something after they thought about it more. That's why plans probably changed, which is bullish to me. And also, which makes me think that the utility is almost guaranteed one day, hoping to where if they're matching up with their golden moments that they have at Disney World, come on. You're going to be able to go to the statue at Disney World, take a picture with your augmented reality collectible in VeVe, and probably unlock an exclusive collectible that way. Or even just showing that you have all those Disney golden moments is going to unlock you. We're all hoping for a free pass to Disney World. I'm so hoping some kind of free pass or something like that. I mean, come on, Disney. It would make the collectibles. Disney, I think, would make a killing. Disney would make so much money on the resales on all these NFTs. It would be unbelievable. Not even to mention the renting that would happen. It would be unbelievable. Shout out to Disney, man, for getting into this space. That's big time. You know, R2D2, 4.5K, 155 left. C3PO, 1.9K. We got the Avengers logo, 740, pretty low. Only 103 left, though. Good sign. You know, Iron Man, 1K. I think that's all of them for the first round. Then we got the Valentine's one. Lady and the Tramp, 406, pretty low. I paid a little bit more for that one. A Donald Duck, 657, pretty low still. 368 left of supply. Now time for the ones that just dropped. Shout out to everybody who was able to snag these Disney golden moments. Because I do think, I'm a huge proponent on big IP. Disney, something that's going to be here for decades, already was here for decades, has hundreds of millions of fans around the world. Ask somebody at a red light, do they know who Walt Disney is or Mickey Mouse? You're probably going to get laughed at because they obviously know who it is. Or if you said, do you see value in the first Mickey Mouse ever or the first Walt Disney ever? Unbelievable. All right, let's start off with the one I got on the drop. Let's go. I forgot I got a low mint on one of these. Flounder and Sebastian, 240 is the price of the floor. My mint number is 183. Let's go. I may try to flip that low mint and buy back the floor depending on how much I can get for that low mint. If I can profit a decent amount, I will do it. Then we got, let's see, the ultra rare from the group, Chippendale. $5.99 is the floor. Shout out to anyone who's able to grab these for the low. I'm going to tell you guys what I bought for each one, too. Chippendale I bought for 400. So that's up 200. Flounder and Sebastian I got on the drop. Cogsworth and Lemire, the clocks. Floor is 196. I have a 1,000 mint. I have a 1771 mint, actually. Pretty solid mint number. 1771. I paid 175. So that's up a little bit. Not too much. I just don't think, even though that's an uncommon, I don't think the popularity of that one will make it as valuable as, say, the Winnie the Pooh. And that's another reason why, obviously, you guys know now, A lot of times VeVe makes the most popular character, the common, with the most additions, because they know that that's the most popular. We got Winnie the Pooh, 570. Shout out to all my Winnie the Pooh holders and stackers out there. Let's go. Winnie the Pooh. Let's see. Didn't get the best mint on this one. I paid $290 for it, up 570. That's the reason why I wanted to stack that around that price. I thought it was an easy double up there. I think it's going to be a triple up too. I think it's going to be a 3x from there, from where I bought it. I see Winnie the Pooh at least touching close to 1,000 soon. Timon and Pumbaa 305. That one's going up as well too. Is that all of them? Yeah, that's all of them. Wow. Got to go over Old Reliable here on the price analysis, market updates. We got Todd McFarlane Batman, 5.9K. Only 105 left. Not too long ago, there was like 150 left. So I'm sure some delistings happened there too. But I think a lot of some low Todds got bought up recently. Excuse me. So I'm glad to see that. First NFT ever on VeVe. First DC collectible ever in premium digital format. First Batman ever. I could just go on and on talking about the Todd McFarlane Batman. FA Joker 659. FA Penguin 590. What's Rizzo sitting at? Is Rizzo below 10? Oh, Rizzo can't get below 10. 10.5K for Rizzo right now. There's a 175 mint at 12.8K. I've been wanting to pick up another Rizzo. I think Rizzo is going to be very valuable. I only have one though. Nightwing. I put mine at the floor. I'm actually going to. I just delisted that one. 1.2 is too low for my third Nightwing there. That is the trophy that I won in the VeVe Fantasy Football League. Wanted to swap that for a little cash prize, basically. But I want at least like 2K for it. 1.2, a little bit too low. I think Nightwing definitely deserves a little bit more than 1.2K. Let's see here. A couple others I want to go over as usual. We got Superman, 110 left. 2.9K is the floor. Got two of those. Steamboat Willie. Mickey Mouse NFT collection Series 1. I think this is going to be huge, especially once they start releasing Series 2 of the Mickey Mouse NFT collection. Series 3 of the Mickey Mouse NFT collection. You know, I've been a big speculation. I've had a lot of speculation about what this series collection could hold. I'm thinking one day Series 2 might be the colored, you know, the Mickey Mouse in color NFT collection. Then maybe Series 3 is Mickey Mouse in color and with the Fantasia hat type thing. So I think that's going to be huge, and probably why they started off with the original Mickey Mouse as the first one. That's going to be legendary, you know. 348 for the common Jaunty Jig. Happy Whistle, 439. We got the ultra rare 179 left in the market, 2.8K. Wow, first time in a while, Superman passed Steamboat. Wow. I'm actually kind of happy about that. Only because there's so many times, you know, it can still go either way. But I think a lot of you saw my Superman listed for a while, and that was because I thought maybe I should sell that Superman for that ultra rare Steamboat. And I was going to, it just never got bought. And I was going to do that. But then after I thought about it a little bit more and it didn't get bought, I just delisted it. Because I'm thinking, like, Superman is iconic. First appearance of Superman. But this is Steamboat Willie. This is Mickey Mouse's first appearance in real life. Taking it 2D, making it 3D. They're both amazing. But and we got Rip Mode, 23 left at 1K. I want to check on Rip Mode because I saw that pretty low at one point. I had two Rip Modes at one point too. I had two full sets of the Unicornos. Got rid of all the Unicornos, the duplicates. There's VeVe's tweet, 30 minutes to go. 30-minute warning. It sounds crazy compared to a 2-minute warning. I love Ritmo just because it's the first fully animated collectible. Same with Starfire, first animated. Ritmo's the first fully animated collectible. And I've always been under the belief that one day we're going to see these NFTs from VeVe be fully dynamic, almost every release probably. And can you only imagine when every collectible or everything that gets released is dynamic, moving, and you have the first ever? I mean, that's going to be a big deal, I feel like. Maybe just only to certain collectors, but that's the reason why I love Ritmo. But I only have one right now. I don't have the duplicate anymore. $28 minutes, 43 seconds left to the drop. Let me get some comments. Pooh Bear getting some honey finally. Ken Penguin. Good morning, my fellow aliens. Let's go. Let's invade the drop today. We got Getsy in the building. How we doing, brother? How we doing? Just talked to you on the VeVe app a little bit ago. Glad you joined us today. We got Willow Kid in the building. Willow going to town the other day, making some hits. I see you. I see you working. Making some bangers for us. 784 at floor price. At floor price 5.68. Okay, still solid though, I think. Orgo. Dr. Frenchie NFT. Johnny, what do you do for a living? I do VeVe for a living now. Did not sell the Amelia. I listed it again though. I'm not sure when you commented this. I'm not sure if I went over the prices before or after. Looks like 720. This time is so off on my computer. Probably should have been 920, I'm thinking, or 1020. Probably 10 minutes ago. So I have my Amelia, I think it's at the floor, maybe 1500, 14.99. I've been torn about this one, Gio. It would break up the set for me, which is why I kind of didn't want to do it. But then I thought about it, and it's not something that I like Rewind. I like the Cleopatra. I'm keeping that one because it's gold. I love that one. I know who Cleo is. Didn't know who Amelia was. And I love the silver too. I love that card. I wanted to have that one next to. I do have that one next to my gold Cleo in a lot of my showrooms. But I feel like I could make some moves with that 1500 right now. I know Rewind's probably going to be dropping this month again, or maybe in the next week. So I thought that's probably going to pump. It's probably going to pump. So do I sell it later? I thought about maybe holding off until there's an announcement of Rewind and then letting it go because I feel like I could sell it into that hype type thing. But then I thought about it too. I was like, it could drop the whole market. It depends what gets dropped. But that Amelia is pretty low right now. I don't think it's gone too much lower than 1.2. Like I haven't seen it gone lower than 1.2. Maybe 1.1 at the lowest. So the high has definitely been a few thousand, I think. I don't know. I've been torn on it, Gio. I just kind of wanted the gems for it. Make some other moves. Just have gems on deck. But you may see me delist it, like I delisted my Nightwing right there. Like I gotta get at least 1,500 for Nightwing. 1.2, like come on, that's a little too low. I feel like for Nightwing. Robert Pagero, let's go, VeVe fam. Shout out to you and all the other aliens. Good luck today, my man Robert. Yeah, Garrett. I don't think that's gonna really happen too much. What I see happening is probably what's gonna happen with every other project that the community has kind of gone into. I hope they do really well. I hope those cars do amazing for people. I want to see everybody make money. There's a lot of the VeVe fam collecting over there, and I want to see them do well too. I think what's happened with a lot of other projects too is we'll probably see the same trend happen where they make their money over there. They start trying to make money for more VeVe NFTs or more OMI, and I think that's what's going to continue to happen. We've already seen it happen. I mean, the fact that we're going to be able to list those cards in OMI, there's a reason why. I mean, Garrett, I've seen this with so many NFT projects ever since VeVe got launched. You know, people left for a different project, came back, left for a different project, came back, left for one project. And it's not even like they're leaving, you know, sometimes it's just diversifying, and there's nothing wrong with that either. But I think a lot of people are trying to diversify and, you know, make a little bit of money in other projects to get a little bit more VeVe NFTs or ones that they haven't gotten yet. But again, you know, I think there's nothing wrong with people diversifying either, you know. That's why I would say I wish them the best. Let's go. Ken W loading up his OMI bag. Love to see it. Love to see it. Now's the time, in my opinion. Not financial advice, not a financial advisor, but we've seen it this low before, and we've seen what happens when we don't take advantage of these opportunities. I could see that happening, Chris. We got Kelvin in the building. How we doing, brother? Good luck today. Yeah, that's the way I see it too, Willow Kid, especially because the supply is so low on those older golden moments that just dropped. Like if Bart and Homer drop down like the 700s again, 600s, I'm picking another one up. It's being shunned. What do you mean by that? I think that's a great one right there. Steamboat Willie ultra rare NFTs. I think that's a safe bet for me. Even though I think what hurts it a little bit is just it doesn't have the FEFA tag. In some people's eyes, it hurts it, but not in my eyes. In my eyes, it doesn't need an FEFA tag. I really believe that that's probably an exception. I mean, some of them, some collectibles may get hurt if they don't have the FEFA tag. But I think that's one that's a safe bet in my opinion. It doesn't need it. That's the first appearance of Mickey Mouse in the real world. That's the first series of the Mickey Mouse NFT collection. Can't imagine what the Mickey Mouse NFT collection is going to be on Series 7, you know? Melanie, do you think it's better to flip the lower mint and take profits? Melanie, I think this all depends on your situation, your own, you know, your own collective collecting, you know, whatever you like to collect, because there's some people who love the low mints. You know, they're going to flip their higher mints and just pay maybe a few extra dollars to get that low mint. I've done that plenty of times, but there's been plenty of times too where if I don't want that low mint collectible, maybe I'll sell that low mint for a premium price. And then if I still love that collectible, I'll buy back the floor of that collectible, maybe a high mint, profit on the difference there, have those gems, use it for something else. And I think sometimes, you know, the bigger the collectible it is, almost the mint's always going to matter. But sometimes, to me, it's not worth paying the premium for a low mint if that collectible is huge. And sometimes for me, it's just better to get in on the floor. Like, for instance, that Walt Disney. A low mint Walt is obviously going to sell for a extreme premium amount, way higher than the floor. But the floor is already so high. Like, for me, I have high mints of Walt. I would love to get a low mint Walt, but at the time, I was just happy to get one Walt. You know, it didn't even matter the mint to me at the time because Walt's already such a big time collectible. But sometimes for something that maybe not as big, you know, maybe you can separate yourself a little bit more and that feels a little bit better as a collector with the lower mint. So I think it all depends, Melanie. I think there's nothing wrong with profiting on a low mint. And then I think it comes down to, you know, how much of a collector you are in that one piece or that one collectible or comic book. If it's your favorite collectible, you may want to, you know, pay a little bit more for that low mint. But if you don't like it, if you've never heard of it, you have a low mint, probably be better off for you to profit. Not financial advice, of course, but probably just to take those gems, sell the low mint for a premium, and just maybe buy back or not even buy back the collectible if you don't love it. Okay. I'm glad to see this because not everybody's going to be the same fan of something. So I'm glad to see you're definitely a fan of the Beauty and the Beast, the Cogsworth. Way more than Winnie, too. Good to see that, too. Interesting. Yeah, and see, that's what's cool, too, because just because, you know, maybe I'm a fan of Winnie a little bit more or someone else is, it doesn't mean everybody is. That's why I think all these Disney Golden Moments are going to be amazing because it's such a broad, you know, all different huge characters and huge different movies that the world's a fan of, you know. Just because I'm not a fan of something means nothing, because millions and hundreds of millions of people around the world are fans of it. So definitely good to see that. We got Ronnie Lido in the building. Let's go. Bless the chat, y'all. Let's go. Appreciate that, JT. Oh, Kelvin. This may have to happen. Could you imagine that if I get some pictures with my hair down with some of the VeVe fam? Those would be legendary pictures, because that's something that I never do. Like I would only do that for like special occasions like that, and only for like probably a minute or so, have my hair down, because it's unbelievable. I look like a whole different I'm a different person with my hair down. Like I don't like the look of it, to be honest. But again, that's probably just because I'm not used to it. Some people do. We got Dubes in the building. How we doing, brother? A lot of people saying this one's a sleeper. And the fact that you said it came from Beauty and the Beast, I mean, that's a big point right there. Beauty and the Beast is a huge movie, right? Huge. That is a sleeper. 190 some bucks right now, I think. That's a sleeper, in my opinion, too. Great call, guys. Word of the realm. Morning, JD. Hope you have a blessed day. Hope you do as well, too. I agree, Simone. Every golden moment will be above 600. Oh, my guy's calling me right now. I can't answer. I'm on the live stream. Shout out to my old high school coach. Just gave me a call. He wants me to go golfing. Every golden moments will be above 600 in April. Yeah, I agree. Maybe I don't know about April, because I don't know about the timetable. Maybe I don't want to say guaranteed facts and then it's May. But at some point, absolutely. I'll even say maybe longer term, over 1,000 for each one, because these are like the mecca, of each different brand. How many Beauty and the Beast collectibles do you think we're gonna get in the future? A lot, probably, of each different character. And same with all these giant movies that we're getting dropped right now. Like, look at Pixar. That Pixar drop that just came out. I don't have the full set anymore. I probably will pick it back up, but they gave us the first NFTs of every big movie. Like, we're probably going to see NFTs from every character in all those movies. And then people of those fans of each movie, or fans of their favorite movie, because you probably won't be able to collect them all, but they're going to be master collectors of, all the stuff that they absolutely love. That's why it's going to be impossible to get everything that we want eventually, I think. But that's why I've been really trying to get these golden moments, because I think these are like the pillar, these are like the big ones, the way I see it. BDK, what's up? What's up? How we doing? Golden moments are flying. Glad I picked them up. I'm glad to see the golden moments flying finally. It's just good for the market overall, I think there's less guessing you have to do too with the golden moments. Anything Disney related, in my opinion. Hey, I love this speculation, Kelvin. Absolutely agree with this. Kelvin said, just some speculation. Since Warner and DC are so ready to be in the blockchain layer 2 via the HRO cards, be ready to be able to sell DC collectibles and IMX very soon. Let's go. It's a matter of time, fam. I mean, David and Dan have said that before, that when they made this whole thing happen, in order to get these big brands on board, they were against an open ecosystem. They only wanted their IP, because they're so protective of it, in a closed ecosystem only on the VeVe app. But being the geniuses that David and Dan were, 2017, when they were making this all happen, they knew that the end goal is interoperability. These brands just aren't ready yet. So we'll make it to where when they are ready, we can make these interoperable. But for now, it'll be a closed ecosystem. That was genius. That's why people don't like. That's why I just laugh when people say these guys can't run this company, it's too big. It just makes me laugh, because they haven't done the research on these people just yet. And so when you're talking about Al Khan, when you're talking about David Yu, Dan Crothers, they're the dream team. They're going to make things happen that seem impossible. When you have, hundreds and hundreds of the biggest brands in the world all in one app, plus social media, it seems too good to be true, And so definitely think this is the end play, and I think it's going to happen soon. Hashtag soon, in a little bit. We don't know when that's going to be, obviously, but that's the goal. That's what we're reaching for every single day. That's what we're trying to get to, that interoperability. It will happen eventually in a matter of time. And that's where people get upset when they say soon, but it's like, it's just the truth. We don't have a timetable, but that's where we're going. That's what's going to happen. So can you only imagine what's going to happen when people are connecting their wallet to the web app? Unbelievable. But it's good to see that, though. That's why I always root for other NFT platforms and projects. I've always said that's going to be the transition. That's going to be like the standard, is digital collecting your favorite brands, not like made up stuff, But I think the made up stuff is great for independent artists. Like if I was to come out there and make up my own project, like that gives me an outlet to be creative, to earn money that way through my art. And so that's why I think OpenSea and all these other independent projects where people make up their own IP, I think that's great for those reasons. I just think it's a little bit safer long term as like an investment play. And I think people are just going to grow towards that naturally because they're fans of these brands. It's what led a lot of people into VeVe right away. Me, Cavell, as soon as we saw Batman, it was like, whoa, I love Batman. What is this? And so I think it's just going to be a transition in the world to where we're all collecting digitally, kind of like we're all listening to music digitally. It seems old school to think people used to listen to music physically with a physical CD, all cassette player, all that stuff. It's all digital streaming. It's going to be all digital collecting soon. Yeah, Kent W. And we got C. Rios in the building. Good morning, fam. And we got Punch. How we doing, brother? Kent W. I think this comic's going to do decent. I like the fact that it's super limited. It's definitely going to put a little bit more value towards it just because of the limited editions. But the popularity of it isn't like a holy grail demand for it. But I think it's growing in demand for sure over time. Bazooka Verse. How we doing, brother? Yeah, I like Rimo too. I think it's a colorway. With the black dreads, the yellow. I think it just is a good one. If you get the drop today, will you flip it or hold it? If I get a common, uncommon, rare, I'm going to hold it. If I get a secret rare, I'm probably going to flip it. But I'm not going to automatically flip in the market if it's for a good price, I want to make sure I get a decent price for a secret rare with 250 editions. Even though it's not the most, holy grail type comic book, still think it's going to be decently valuable. I would probably flip a secret rare of this one, though. Ultra rare, I'm torn on, which tells me I'll probably end up keeping it. I do like the cover. I just don't think it's going to come out that expensive to be worth flipping. But secret rare, I would probably flip just because I need some gems. So if I can get close to 1,000 or 1,000, I would do that. Absolutely. He's spitting, Willow. Got some bars, too. I like the flow. Sounded good, man. Good luck to you as well. I've been on the power balance gate for a few months now, actually. Get my energy right. I mean, maybe that's why my energy is always so positive. Oh, yeah. Let me know about this opportunity you keep telling me about, Punch. What do you want me to do? Just DM you? That's not a bad idea right there, Gio. I would probably say Ultra Rare Steamboat would probably be more valuable than Amelia. Now, I love, Amelia and Cleo. I love those House of Cards, the gold and silver next to each other look amazing. But, I'm getting to that point where I can't keep everything. And so I'm going to keep that Cleo, the gold card for sure. And I like Amelia too. I just, I never knew who Amelia was. I hope everybody's collecting Amelia, does well. I hope it keeps going up in value. I think it will. And just like Menno said, I touched on it a little bit too. I think Rewind is dropping this month. I mean, Rewind's tweeted that. So that's why I kind of thought about, do I wait until it pumps and then flip it? I thought maybe I'll wait and try to do that with the logo. And if that's the case, if it pumps and the logo gets to like 1,200, I would think about maybe letting that go. But the logo could be great too, because if once Rewind hits Coinbase, they drop another logo, and our logo is the first edition logo. Like that could be big. So those are two that I've been thinking about letting go: the Amelia and the Nightwing. I mean, I'm always gonna hodl the two Nightwing I got on the drop, but that third Nightwing I won as the VeVe Influencer Championship, Fantasy Football Championship. So instead of holding on to like a trophy, I would swap it for a cash prize. Essentially, is the way I'm thinking about it. See, I don't know too much about Amelia Punch to where I didn't know that wasn't her authentic photos or images. I'm just at the point where I'm looking at my collection every day, 24/7. Like, okay, what can I get rid of? I love this one. I love this one. And I get to the point where I look through them all and I say I love everything. So it gets insane. I'm like, oh my gosh. Like even my duplicates, I'm at the point where it's like, I feel like I have too big of duplicates to let them go just yet. So I've been feeling kind of stuck lately. Like a good problem to have. I'm not complaining or anything. Like it's just how it is. Let's go. Also, I feel like you're gonna get one too. Happy Friday, JD. Just came back from the future to let you know you won another drop today. This is hilarious. Amelia Earhart is a true legend and woman and pioneer and visionary. Yeah, I think she really is, Punch. The more I learned about her, because I wasn't really familiar with her at all. And so that's why I've delisted her a couple times. So I know she's going to be big. And I'm sure they're going to drop, more, impactful, powerful women in their next series of cards. And that could be the rest of the cards that drop too. And so if that's the case, that's all the house of cards. And say it's like 7 women total. People are going to want to collect them all. So I do think there's going to be a huge value in them. You got 7 minutes and 21 seconds left to the drop. Right along with Dave. This is my 21st drop and still haven't got one on drop. Hopefully today is the day. Well, that means that I got to go over my drop strategy to help ride along Dave today. Ride along Dave. My mission today is make sure you get a drop. It's going to be a tough one. There's only 10,000 total. But here's my strategy today. All right. This is what I do. I go to the store tab here, very beginning. This is a drop page. I make sure my settings, all my files are deleted. Scroll down here. Here's the drop menu, drop down, whatever you want to call it. 6 minutes, 41 seconds to go. For this example, I'm going to act like there's 0 minutes left to go. I'm sure if you've been spamming away, the people that spam away, I hope, you do well today as well. I'm just going to go over the timing technique. I like to try to count down with like 5 to 10 seconds left to try to stay in rhythm with the countdown, because the buy now is going to pop up 1 second after 0. So I'll wait till 0, wait that full second, and then click. My strategy is I'm clicking slightly before I see 0. And that way, by the time my thumb hits or my pointer hits, it's at 0, or it's at right at the buy now. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Buy now. Obviously, it's not time to click just yet, but I would have been a little early, or I would have been perfect. So, kind of explain it again. The key is to slightly click, start your click before you see buy now pop up. Now, the reason is because I think that most of the people are seeing buy now pop up and then clicking. And by the time you click, you're going to be a little late. So I'm trying to start my click a millisecond or a half a millisecond slightly before I see buy now pop up. So by the time I click, it's going to be like perfect timing. I think of like a quarterback reacting or throwing to a wide receiver. He's going to throw it to the wide receiver slightly before he's open. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Buy now. That would have been perfect. So that's my strategy right there. And obviously it's a lot better if I'm like literally on point, but wait 1 full second after 0 And how you can wait 1 full second is by staying in rhythm with the countdown. I mean, if you pull up a synchronized clock, like you could probably go to world clock. Like, let me go to Google, type in world clock. If you pull up a clock, you know, go to your time zone. Mine would be like New York. You can probably do it that way too. But then you have to look at the timer and look at this. I just like to look at the timer, count it out loud, get my body in sync with the rhythm. And that way I'm clicking right before I feel it popping up. That way, by the time my thumb clicks, it's like literally I'm getting in there before everybody's reacting, seeing by now, and then pressing it. So riding along with Dave. Hopefully I get one today. Hopefully that teaches you how to get one today. And we both luck out. Wow, yeah. Could you imagine that? Punch, that'd be awesome. I thought I saw like an ant walk into my coffee, but I guess I didn't. I really hope not. What do you think R2D2 will be end of the year? Oh, that means probably after Darth Vader drops. I don't know. I think R2D2 is still going to be solid though. I'm not too sure on that. Crystal Pawn. Dude, we doing good. Yeah, I agree, Melanie. Definitely still have amazing characters to still come. And I think they did that for a reason. So that way, you know, it puts a little bit of an emphasis on both. That way they can give some value to the not so popular characters. Meaning, you know, if they drop the most popular characters first, that would be unbelievable prices. And then if they drop the not so popular characters towards the end, they wouldn't be as valuable. To where if they drop the not so popular characters first, that puts a value on them because they're the first ones, and then the more popular characters will still have value, I think, later on because they're still popular. The funners out here talking in circles. I love to say it. You know, that's what usually happens, Willow. Yes, absolutely, Menno. That's kind of what we've all been speculating. Um, just because I think right now there's probably only about 2,000 people we've kind of came up with. I mean, give or take, maybe it's less, maybe it's more, but 1 minute 59 seconds left to the drop. But we think there's probably around like 2,000 ish people who have all the golden moments, and so it's really not that many people at all if you think about it. And to think of how much money they would make on all the sales, the revenue, the renting, I think they should. I think maybe I'm biased because I have all the golden moments, but you know, if Disney's listening, I think it would be an amazing idea for Disney to do so. I think a big company like that has every incentive to do so. If we see great utility with these artist collectibles, we got Zachary Roy from the Palace in the building. Shout out to you guys out there. Appreciate y'all. 1 minute, 17 seconds left. Yeah, good luck, everybody. Melanie doesn't think so about the utility. APB, what up? What up, my guy? Kirasemi, good luck. We got 1 minute. We got 59 seconds left. Let's go. J East Music. Good luck, everybody. Shout out to my coffee gators. Yeah, definitely no ant in there. All right, just started recording. I'm going to back out. I didn't see the time. That time it felt like it stuck on 37. We're at 34. All right. 30. 25 seconds. Let's go. 10,000 total editions. This is going to sell out ASAP. 15 seconds. Can y'all see? 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Bye now. Might have gotten it. Maybe a little late. Didn't get it. Nope. Well, that sold out ASAP. Oh my God. was a little late today. Last time I was early, so I wanted to make sure that I had a chance today. We have 45 viewers. Let's see how many. I bet it goes up to like 65 user or 65 probably viewers. See how many people tune in. All right, let me go over the film here. Ten seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pretty good, but it wasn't great. Just didn't feel amazing. Little late. See, I was just a little late. That split second is all the difference in the world right there. Click. See, just a little late. And see, we just gained 30 people. It's probably shout out to everybody just joined to see if I got one today. It's probably the group chat full of haters. Tuning in to see if I got one. Unfortunately, missed out today. But shout out to everybody who did get one. Crazy how I called that. Went from 45 to, I thought 65, but we had 75. Let's go. Wait, what? This can't be real, Willow. That's ridiculous. People literally don't know what they're talking about if that's the case, Willow. People invest in this project because of David Yu. And then people want to come to this project and have that. That's ridiculous. That's the craziest thing I've ever even heard in my life, Willow. Johnny Mahomes. Yeah, this must be a joke, right? That makes me angry. Like, how are people gonna come into VeVe, our baby, and say we don't want the CEO? That's ludicrous. That's the craziest thing I've even. That's just that's the definition of fun right there. I'm here now. Stream can start. Let's go. I'm gonna skip a few of these. So sorry if I didn't get to. I want to see how many people won today. Wow, all L's. $68, $75. How crazy is that, fam? I think we got a group chat full of haters who tune in to see if I get one or not. They get upset when I do. That's why there's so many viewers and a few amount of likes. That's pretty funny. But they're probably happy today. They probably said it's not rigged, it's fair because I didn't get one today. So it looks like a lot of people had good timing today and still missed out. And it looks like my nose is getting stuffed up. We got about an hour on stream. Isn't that wild? Sitting at home with 4 ping, spamming, and still got a big L. Wow, Johnny Boy got a big L today. That's crazy, right? You're in Cali, 4 ping. I mean, you should be able to get it if it's all about location. Yeah, you got to be perfect timing on these. I don't think anybody got it today. How wild is that? I'm still recording. Oh no, wait, no, I'm not. That's a video. They won't be saying nothing today, though. I guess the JD conspiracy is only true when you hit. That's what I mean, Willow. Like, I'll probably put this out on a tweet today. I'll say, "Oh, I didn't get it today" or something. And there won't be any kind of negative comments. It'll be like, "Oh, it's fair." It's like, what? They all join tip right away. Dudes, you know what's even funnier is that I called them out and then they all dipped. So it's like they know that I know now. That's what's so funny. Let's go. Facts, Kelvin. True fam's always here, no doubt. Audible slept in today. Oh, okay, Melanie, this makes more sense. Yeah, I would hope people aren't talking about CEO of VeVe. That'd be wild. That'd be the craziest thing I've ever heard. Green Goblin, looks like we had nobody get it on the drop today, which is kind of crazy. Yeah, I was a little late. Swing and a miss for me. Thanks for the strategy. I will try this going forward. Absolutely right along with Dave. It's one of those things where it doesn't work every time, though, which no strategy works every time. And there's this spamming technique too. I don't know which way you've tried the last 21 times. If it was spamming away, maybe try this one if the spamming hasn't worked for you. And then if this one doesn't work for you for the next, handful 10 times, go back to try spamming it. I always say if something's working for you, don't try to switch it up. Don't fix it if it's not broken. But if it is broken and it's not really working for you, that's when I would say, try the technique that's working for me. And so the biggest thing I like to do is try to back out and come back in with like maybe 30 to 60 seconds left, because I feel like that resets the timer. Sometimes the timer gets like delayed. Like I'll back out, come back into the drop screen, and I'll go down to the timer. If I see it like paused on like 37 seconds or something like that, like today I felt like it was, I'll go back, come back in, and as long as I see it go down in smooth order, I'll stay on that screen. And then I'm waiting. 3, 2, 1, 0. By now. And so many times you're going to want to click early. And most of the time, I just did it the other day, but if you click early, you probably won't be able to click again in time to get us drop, basically. Once in a while you will. You saw it on the few drops ago. I was able to do it somehow, which I don't even know how still, because it felt late, but I still got it. Sometimes it happens, but I would say most of the time you won't get it that way. So that's why it's important to time it perfect, because if you're late, it'll be like me today. You're just too late. So the key is to try to do it literally. Start your press slightly before you see buy now pop up, but not doing it too early. So for me, I've gotten to the point where instinctively I want to press a little early, but I'm holding myself off until right before I see buy now, and that's when I try to press it. And usually I've been pretty good lately. But again, even if you time it perfect, the one drop, that's not a guarantee. You still may not get it. The key is to try to do that, replicate it, drop after drop. That's the hard part. Let's go, Johnny West Coast. Is Miss Rose here today? I didn't even see Miss Rose. Got Dan in the building. How we doing, brother? Just joined. JD got the drop right. I missed Dan. Unfortunately, I missed it today. I felt like it was pretty good timing. I was definitely a little later than usual. They were like, "Oh no, he's on to us." Isn't that crazy, dudes? I really think that's happening too. I think I have a whole group chat thinking there's a conspiracy. So they tune in right at the drop. They don't want to, tune in before the drop, because then they'll actually learn how to do the drop. They'll get taught by Johnny, but they don't want to get taught. They don't want to learn how I do it. They just want to see if I do it and then believe a conspiracy. I think, yeah, Dan, I think Dubes did get the Batman comment. I'm pretty sure. Absolutely, Dubes. Appreciate you, as always, for tuning in, my man. Hopefully catch you on the next drop as well. Yeah, Michael Gordon had 3 devices and he still didn't get one. But happy some collectibles are going back up. Absolutely. I think that's kind of the whole sentiment in the market right now. I think people are happy to see some of these collectibles kind of pick up steam again, especially the golden moments. Meiji. I don't think there is a drop later today, is there? Is that drop today or is it tomorrow? I thought it was tomorrow. Saturday. Yeah, it's okay. That really confused me. I didn't think there was another drop today. So amazing. You mean the drop tomorrow? Okay, yeah. The artist collectible. I think Green Goblin's asking about it too. The basement drop. Meiji saying, "What's the point?" So Meiji, I would answer by saying this, and kind of Green Goblin too. You know, some of these drops they won't be for everybody. You know, just because drop. I never heard of this artist either. But that's the thing with VeVe is they introduce us to a lot of these new artists. I never heard of a lot of these artists. Frank Kozik, Jermaine Rogers became fans of a lot of these artists. It is a lot of additions. Some people are saying for some of the rarities. I'm not sure how all the rarities will do on this one. I think the final one, the secret rare, I think that'll do okay. But again, if you're not a fan of this artist or if you're not a fan of this collectible artwork, you don't have to go for the drop if you're not a fan of it. I think VeVe will get to the point where there's a lot of different things on there to where you may not go for every drop. And so right now we're kind of in that period, maybe transitioning into that period to where you kind of are still grateful to be able to go for most of these drops. But again, nobody's forcing anybody. So if you don't like it, Meiji, that's completely okay. I understand. A lot of times I don't know these artists that drop either. So if you don't want to go for it, you don't have to go for it, That's kind of what I'll say about it, just because not everything that is going to drop is going to be something that I'm familiar with or maybe that I'm into type thing. And so just because if I'm not into it or if you're not into it, you don't have to go for it. That's why my collection, I've been lately at least tailoring it to where I've been getting rid of some of the pieces that I don't absolutely love and trying to go for more of a collection that I know that I'm actually huge fans of. So I'm just trying to treat it more so that way. I think the secret rare that let me go over it. So the common has 7,777 editions. So there's two commons. Both commons have 7,777 editions. Uncommon has 5,555 editions. The rare has 4,444 editions. The ultra rare has 3,333. The secret rare is 1,960. The list price is $50 for this blind box. So I think the secret rare will do fine. I think he has a pretty big fan base too. I didn't realize how big of a fan base he had just because I wasn't familiar with it. He has, I think, like 300,000 followers on Instagram, which was, it's a pretty good amount. And so I think his fans, once they find out about VeVe, whole digital collecting, they'll definitely be into this very first one because I'm sure this artist is going to have a lot of different collectibles on the app one day. So I would imagine his fans, they'll probably want the very first one. Secret rare, I think it'll do pretty good. Ultra rare, I think it'll do pretty decent. I'm not sure about the other rarities, but again, if it's not something that you're into and you don't love, maybe not go for that drop. Good to know. And so this is so good to know too, right along with Dave, is because so many people come to this app, they hear about the money people are making, etc., and they think they can just, get rich quick in a day, and that's not what this is, obviously there can be huge opportunities that that may happen in a couple of days, a couple of weeks type thing, but this is going to be something that's going to be here for decades. Like when you have kids, they're going to be on the VeVe app collecting, and you're going to tell them that you were here in season 3 or season 2 or season 1, the first 3 seasons. Like they're not going to believe that. And so that's why I've always just been a big fan of a lot of the historic collectibles, whether that's the first NFT, first one fully animated, the first one with noise. Like I love history because I think this is going to be here for years and years and years. And then once that happens, people are going to go back and say, once this is like a staple, once this is something that everybody in the world knows about, digital collecting is the standard. It took some time for music to be digital and to be the standard and to be like, oh yeah, this is obvious trend. This is the new standard. Digital collecting, Apple Music, iTunes, Spotify. It took a while for that to happen, but it happened, and now look where we're at today. That's going to be the same thing with digital collecting. We're just adopting this a lot earlier. We understand where this is going. We understand where it's at right now. Definitely could be, Johnny boy. How is your nose, bro? I mean, I feel fine, but like now it's not congested, but it will be congested, I bet, in a little bit more time. I don't know. It's so strange. I feel like the more I'm on stream, the longer I talk, the closer I am to my dusty, dirty screen is probably what it is, but I'm not sure. Definitely streaming tomorrow morning. Absolutely. I try to stream all the drops. Even if it's a drop that, you know, I'm not going to be buying, I think I'm still going to go for it and at least try to get each drop. And then if it's something that I don't love, I just won't confirm. I just won't buy it. I'll basically do what Miss Rose did on that Electra drop. She finally got one, but just decided not to buy, which is probably a good decision. Short term. She wanted to buy it. She could probably buy it under retail now. Hey, let's go. Yeah, all good. And it's all good, Johnny boy. I look at these drops where anytime I do get one, I know it's been a little bit more than usual. It's just a bonus, I feel like. Yeah, absolutely, Willow, and that's perfectly okay. You know, I feel like people, we kind of all, I mean, me included too. I think we all kind of got conditioned into going for every single drop just because we could. But it's definitely getting to that time where it's like, you know, it's perfectly okay to be kind of picky and choosy which ones you want to go for, because that's how it's going to be, I think, in the future. Want to know when me Kevin gets into VeVe? 9 mil gems get purchased and the app goes down. Yeah, shout out to me Kevin and Andre and all those guys out there, Graham, Steven, Jeremy. You know, because of False Arena, we got Andre and per the Doge in VeVe. I think once this becomes a standard, once, you know, more platforms pop up, and that's the thing too, when other platforms pop up, that scares a lot of people in the community. But again, anybody who's been tuning in the live stream, I don't think gets scared, because you guys been hearing me say, and a lot of you agree too, this is just going to be the standard digital collecting from your biggest brands in the world. So just because another platform has another license, that's not a bad thing. In fact, I think that makes it even better. It makes it more bullish, because one, I mean, competition is always great. Two, I think VeVe is going to be the mecca, the main one. There's going to be tons of other platforms that pop up, just like social media. You know, you saw MySpace, Vine, right? Vine was here and gone in a quick minute. So many different social media platforms, but there's a few main ones. And that's how I see the same thing with the brands. You have Nike, Adidas, like your main sportswear type thing. Then you have a whole bunch of other brands. You have Reebok, you got K-Swiss, you got all different ones. So one, I think it's going to help get more and more people into this space of digital collecting. I came across one of your listings last night and looked through your collection again. It's museum worthy. Appreciate this, Green Goblin, and it gives me the chills anytime someone else says this. So I appreciate this so much, Green Goblin, because I'll look at my collection all the time, and people get mad sometimes when I post it, but it's like it brings me. It's like a time capsule for me. One, and two, it's like I can't believe this is real. Like I seriously can't believe it. It's like I found gold. And I just held on to it the whole time and just kept doing my little thing, picking at it, and I shaped it and molded it. And I'm just blessed to have what I have right now, man. I absolutely love my collection. It brings me back to every single move. And a lot of these moves I've made when there was so much FUD, like times like now. That's why I so wish I had the gems the past couple weeks to make moves. But I've literally been tapped out, so I just can't. I just have to kind of hold. But these are the times. This is why I've been trying to just let people know exactly how I was able to build my collection, because these are the moments in time where wealth is made, not financial advice, my opinions from my experience. In March in 2021, people told me I'm an idiot. People told me I lost my mind. These digital Batmans will never sell out, Johnny. There's 7,500 editions, more editions than people on the platform. I was like, exactly. So buy them. Like, what are you doing? There's going to be millions of people here. And people are looking at me like, dude, you just don't get it. I'm like, you don't get it. And so I went hard. You know, I maxed this out at the time. And it turned out to be one of the greatest decisions I ever did. And I just want to You know you're a VeVe OG when you was around when JD had no beard and wore sunglasses. Let's go. And it's funny that you say no beard because there's only a short amount of time where I did shave my whole beard. I do it once in a while, but I only do it for like it grows back in like a week. I still got my shades too, and I'm gonna bring back the sunglasses. But the reason why, I mean, a lot of people thought I like changed up my image, but it wasn't that. It's just I don't have the money for contacts right now. I had day contacts, like daily contacts, and it costs like $500-600, so they're expensive, and I didn't have the money to go buy them. So I just said, you know what, I could, but I'm just gonna save the money and just use my regular glasses. But I'm gonna be getting my contacts back soon, and you can bet the shades are gonna be coming back. Let's go. I want to get prescription sunglasses too, just so I don't have to wear my contacts all the time. I really got contacts for baseball. Yeah, absolutely. They see the vision. Graham was actually in Omi too, and then sold before the huge dip. He probably got back in though. The thing about this is like you can question, your belief in digital collecting all you want until eventually you have the aha moment and you realize, oh my gosh, this is just the next transition. This is just the next revolution. The same way physical CDs went to digital streaming. And then it's like once you're at that point, once you see that digital collecting is the same transition, it's like, okay, well, what are people going to collect? Well, that's everybody's, guess. In my guess, a lot of us are speculation. Is probably people are going to be into things that they've been fans of for decades, Batman, Superman, Spider-Man, your favorite brands of all time. Yeah, I think so too, Ken W. And a lot of times people love seeing my collection because it's inspiration. It's one, I've turned my collection showrooms into art itself. So people love seeing that. And it's motivation. Like I love seeing bigger collections than me. I do not have the biggest collection of VeVe. I would say not even close, but I guess that's relative. But there's plenty of people that have bigger collections than me. And I love seeing that. I can't wait till they hire me and I get to design these showrooms with bigger collections than me. I would love to design a showroom with thousands of collectibles of like all the grails, like Ray Fixie's showroom. Can you imagine Ray Fixie hires Johnny Dunn and now I'm designing Ray Fixie's whole showroom on a live stream on my desktop for an entire night? Like that's the kind of stuff that I want to do. Just thinking about that just makes me want to do it. It did. Willow, absolutely. It literally took priority over my contacts. I was like, you know what? I got my contacts for baseball. I don't need my contacts. I got my glasses. I just won't have the look that I always have. Let's go, Austin. I'm glad you found it too, man. I love having people that just, we share the same mindset together. We're into the same things together. That's why VeVe's great too, because you're bonding over the same things that you're interested in. Yeah, absolutely. Montage. I've been hearing about them, probably since I would say early March. It's been a few weeks now. It's one of those things where I think they'll do well. I do think HRO will do well, Hero. Anytime you're licensed with these big brands, I think it's a good thing. It just kind of reiterated my belief that, or made me even more confident in my belief that this is going to be the standard. I think that's just one of the platforms. We've already seen a platform pop up. When the first amount of FUD happened, I found TVK right when I found VeVe, and I showed a lot of people that platform. Then I realized that VeVe was king. And once the FUD happened, a lot of people believed that when the DeLorean happened, it ruined the VeVe app, right? So many people left, went over there, said that was way better. And I was already experienced that. I already researched that. I was like, no, VeVe is going to be king. I think they'll do well too, long term. I think that's part of what I'm saying is that they're going to be another one that probably does well long term. HRL probably does well long term. There's going to be 5-10 other platforms that probably do well long term. But not everyone's going to be the king. And I think VeVe is going to be the mecca. But, if you want to diversify, there's nothing wrong with that either. Just me, I love VeVe so much to where that's all I really want to talk about. People think, I definitely got lucky. I got really lucky finding VeVe when I did. But the fact that I went all in wasn't so much luck. That was research. That was me trusting the research I did for 21 days straight. That's the part that people don't realize. A lot of people found VeVe before me. You know, people found VeVe in 2020, months before me. But unfortunately, I would say most of them didn't go all in. Shout out to the people who did believe, saw the vision, and went all in, because they got rewarded big time. They're capitalizing on it now big. And so I just didn't get that same feeling with a lot of these other companies. But I mean, I think they're going to do well. Shout out to them. Doesn't get context. Snags a second Rizzo later in the afternoon. It may happen. It may happen. HRO on fire. Yeah, I hope they do really well. Austin facts. Yeah, same with you, Johnny boy. Absolutely. Yeah, and so I think they'll do well, for everybody getting those packs. I think what's going to happen is a lot of people are probably going to profit on a lot of those, either stacked or OMI that way, or maybe get some profits and get some more VeVe NFTs that way. But I think also people will probably, start a collection over there too. I think, having the leaderboard, having the master collector program in their eyes, again, I think it's all kind of related to VeVe, but not really related to VeVe in that sense. There's a lot of similarities, I should say, not related, but similarities in that sense. Yeah, wait, did Meiji say they hit? Meiji said she hit today? I thought nobody hit today, but maybe Meiji did hit. Isn't this crazy, K Walker? People wanting to buy VeVe NFTs 5x the prices right now. But when the price is down 90%, no one wants to buy them. Interesting. This is the psychology. This is the doubling good effect. This is the psychological aspect where you can capitalize. It's the FOMO. Where it's nothing seems valuable when there's a lot of it in stock. Prices are low. It doesn't look appealing to buy. Todd McFarlane Batman was in store, in stock, 6,000 out of 7,500. $80 retail, was in store from October 2020 to November to December to January 2021 to February to March. 6,000. Only 1,500 got bought. Month of March hit. FOMO happens. They start selling out. Boom, sold out. Crazy. Then it was like 200, 300 bucks, chilling. I mean, I saw it go up to 1,000, back down to 400, up and down. People were starting to buy them, starting to take them serious as soon as they got up to 7,000, 8,000, 9,000, 13. But it's like, why now? Why not before, right? So it's going to happen again, People will pass on it low at 5K, but they'll want to buy it when it's running at 8K, 9K, 10K again. It's just psychology. Yeah, absolutely. And that's the thing too, if you believe in another project, just because you're in VeVe doesn't mean you can't put a little bit in another project too. I mean, I think it's, diversifying is never bad. I don't think so. Just for me personally, like I don't have, this also has an impact too. Like, if I had, tens of thousands of dollars laying around, yeah, maybe I'd get a couple of packs and just forget about it. Probably open one, leave a lot unopened, and just kind of just forget about it, But for me, I'm all about VeVe. I'm going to make content all about VeVe. It's just how I am. It's just how I've been. I love VeVe so much. But again, montage. Nothing wrong with diversifying, getting into some other projects if you want to try to make some more money that way. Plus, it's Batman. It's DC, Absolutely, Punch. Do you think some golden moments like Elsa will be over 20K someday? I do think some of them will be. I mean, we've already seen, look at R2D2 run up. We saw R2D2 hit 10K, or at least close to it. Now, obviously, people will say that's because of the gem scandal, etc. We don't really know. But I will say this. Once these are liquidable, once we can buy this with crypto, games change forever. People looking back at some of these moments and will just laugh. You could have bought Disney NFTs for under $1,000. Because at the end of the day, you look what's being sold for hundreds of thousands of dollars on other platforms, and it's not by a huge licensed brand. I think people understand that this technology is, here. We've kind of adapted to the technology now. Technology is like ready basically, but I think people are kind of just trying to catch that wave of these random projects, not like HRO. I mean, like random ones that aren't licensed by big brands. I think people are trying to catch that next Bored Ape type thing, and so I think, unfortunately, I hope all those projects last. I hope all those NFT projects on OpenSea last long, because if they do, just more people get into NFTs, digital collecting as a whole. But I think most of those projects that aren't tied with these big brands may not last long term. Most of them, unfortunately. Yeah, and see, bro, in '88, good thing that you found it early. Got some great collectibles, and I mean, not everybody stacked because it was hard to see back then. Things weren't as clear. That vision wasn't as clear. That's why I was say that's the lucky part. It was a blessing that I found the right videos at the right time. Everything led me to like a perfect time in my life to where I understood and I saw the vision, and so that was the lucky part, blessed part. But it wasn't as clear, back then for sure. So don't feel like you messed up or anything like that. Wow, let's go. Kurosemi, what a move. Definitely a smarter move, probably to buy, 1,000 packs as opposed to dirty gems. That's why you guys know anytime you've asked me about gems off the app, I've been saying this for months. You guys know, you know, buy your gems on the app. Make sure you're going to pay a little bit more of a premium. Yeah. But you're not going to have any kind of risk. You're not going to support any kind of bot transactions. You're not going to support any kind of illegal things going on. And so it's hard to know for sure if you're doing that off the app. That's why I suggest, I've always suggested, you do keep it on the app. Johnny Boy, appreciate you as always tuning in today. We definitely got next. Let's go. I mean, you still probably profited, Austin. It's one of those things where you can never time the tops perfect, but you know, you still took some profits. You can't time the tops perfect. Maybe you use those gems in something else. Maybe you put those gems into Pooh. Pooh goes up. Get 2 Poohs, you double them. As long as you use those gems in a good way, it's never a loss. But yeah, it would have been nice to hold the Elsa a little bit longer. Thoughts on Bored Apes, Johnny? Pat Cassidy. Well, they're definitely expensive now. Bored Apes, I mean, shout out to that community. I mean, they've been doing really well. I think that could potentially, it has potential to be one of those projects that does last long term on OpenSea. Now, would I pay that much money for one right now? Unfortunately, no, I wouldn't. But it would be nice to have minted one back then. I would definitely sell one right now. If I had one, I would sell one and profit huge on it. But I think that has potential. The CryptoPunks, that probably has potential long term. Now, do I see it as a safe investment? I wouldn't say safe. I still think safer plays would be digital collectibles from the biggest brands in the world, like Disney, Marvel. I see having that be at that price it is right there makes me more bullish of what these Disney NFTs, what these Marvel NFTs, what these DC NFTs, Givenchy, any big brand on VeVe will be one day. Because those Bored Apes, that happened in how quick? A month, a couple months. And in that little micro timetable, they didn't start at 100 ETH. Started at what? 0.5, 0.9, 1 ETH, 2 ETH, 3 ETH. We're not even on ETH yet. Like we're on ETH, but you can't even sell this stuff for ETH yet. Wait until you can sell the big branded NFTs on VeVe for crypto. People's minds, we can't even wrap our heads around it just yet. Look at CryptoPunks. CryptoPunks were free, given out for free. There's 10,000 of them. Obviously, one of ones, but so are VeVe NFTs. That's what people don't realize. Maybe there's 10,000 of the same collectible. They're all one of ones because of the mint number. And so that just the aesthetics are the same. But once we can have, and we're going to have, accessories, that's going to make the aesthetics look one of one. But the mint number is already one of one. So just imagine what this is going to be in 3 years from now, in 4 years from now. I can't, I can't imagine. So That's my. I mean, I hope the Bored Apes do well, just because I feel like if they don't do well, it'll be like a big sign to mainstream saying NFTs won't last. Look what happened with the Bored Apes. Even though like the VeVe community's been saying, yeah, but licensed NFTs will last. You know, I hope Bored Apes last for that reason. There'll be a lot of negativity around, excuse me, NFTs as a whole if something like the Bored Apes didn't last. So, I mean, I have a lot of friends in those too. So for that sake, I do hope they last. You know, I want them to do well. I just recently talked to a buddy who found VeVe last April. He got the DeLorean set and some black and white and stopped using the app. Asked why he didn't tell me about it. He thought he got scammed. I asked him why he didn't tell me about it. He thought he got scammed. Why did you think he get scammed, Green Goblin? Just because you couldn't withdraw? Interesting. I'm not sure how long those prices will last, Pack Cassidy. Like I was just talking about, I hope they do last, because I know for a fact that they don't last and they do come crashing down. That's going to be the headline of the news. NFTs don't last, Bored Apes crash, etc. So I don't want to see that happen. I would love to see them, last long, but I still don't think it's a safe play. I think it's a safer play with VeVe, just because these are licensed NFTs. These are licensed collectibles from the biggest brands in the world, just digitally. JD is a certified drop game. Let's go. We've always seen this, Menno, too. Anytime there's a big announcement or anything like that, big drop, we usually do see a little bit of a price decrease. The market open. Let's see about the market. I've been talking so long today. I'm going to post my video out today. What should my caption be? Guess it's not a scam. I didn't get one today. Sold out quick. I think it's crazy. It's a big deal. Like when I don't hit, it's wild. I should write in there too. Appreciate everyone tuning in just to find out if I hit. Everyone who landed on today. JD didn't hit today. Who do you make mad at VeVe? See, I don't hit every time. Your local scalper. Oh, he couldn't get his money back out. Okay, that makes sense, Green Goblin. And see, I think maybe people weren't aware of that in the beginning, but I'm pretty sure maybe that just might have been the case with your buddy. He didn't realize that he couldn't cash out. I thought it was a scam. Hope he held on to those collectibles still, because once he can cash out, it'll be worth a decent amount. But I think most of the people understood that you couldn't cash out. I think maybe people thought we could maybe a little bit sooner. But I think it's been a blessing for most people that they didn't cash out too quick. Catch you tomorrow, Austin. Appreciate you as always, my brother, tuning in. Let's go, Punch. Another thing that I love about my collection is, the Batman black and white collectibles that I do have left, or that I have, not so much duplicates, but the ones I have. Almost all of them I got on the drop. Like the Harley Quinn low mint, like a 200 mint, I got not on the drop, in the store, like before it sold out. And that was back when the first come, first serve on the mint number. So your low mints means that you were the first ones there. Like my Joe M Batman, I have a 600 mint. That was from the store. The FA Joker I got from the store. Like these are things that just mean so much to me, because every time we think of FA Joker, FA Harley Quinn, Joe M Batman, I remember buying the collectibles in the store, and it was just a crazy feeling because it's like, imagine a big piece of gold just in the middle of a downtown busy city and everyone's walking by it, and you're just sitting there like, what's going on? Why is no one buying this stuff right now? The feeling was just unbelievable back then. So like, you see this big piece of gold in the middle of the city, everyone's walking by it, and you're just like scraping off pieces, putting it in your pocket, like, oh my God, what's happening? You know, it was a crazy time back then. I was pissed he didn't tell me about VeVe then. I think he's looking at collectibles again and just bought 1 mil Omi. Let's go. It's crazy too, Green Goblin. All the people that might have, I'm not saying your buddy was like this, but might have like found VeVe Omi, or wasn't into it in like the summer or the last fall, whatever the case is. Maybe they see now, have a different vision. Now's the time to get in. Like the people that got in at like 0.007, maybe down a little bit. I still think it's going to get up there, obviously. But like now it's such a low price, it seems too good to be true. Even me, it's like, wow, trying everything right now to maybe stack up another mil Omi. Can you imagine too, once all these prices are listed in Omi, land in Omi, everyone's going to be buying Omi. I'm grateful for all you guys, man. David Yu is a genius, and I trust everything he does. Same. That's the thing too, Punch. People think they know more than them. That's what blows my mind. People told me when the DeLorean dropped last summer, they don't know what they're doing. I'm like, but you do? Like, people have the audacity and the ego to think that they know more than the people who run this company. Blows my mind sometimes, Punch. Oh, absolutely, Menno. And I agree. I think what's going to help with this too is that MTL. Once MTL is here, I mean, obviously people think this dip's going to happen, etc. But money transmitter license will make this liquidable. Because how many friends do you have that won't put money into the app that because you can't take it out? I have friends that won't put $20 into the app. Can you imagine the people who have hundreds of thousands of dollars looking for NFTs and digital collectibles to invest in? And no VeVe, but they're like, yeah, but if I put my 2 mil into the app, I can't take it out. And so that's a barrier. Once they know that they can take it out, it's going to be unbelievable. Also, the web app. We already know that people can convert their ETH to Omi with the MetaMask swap and everything, I think that's what it is. I think that's already happened. It's just gearing ourselves up for when people can connect their web app, the VeVe web app, with their wallet, convert ETH to Omi, and then go shopping. What's going to happen? What's going to happen to the supply? What's going to happen to these floors? And if you disagree with me, that's fine too. You can have your opinion. But one thing you can't disagree with is how many fans of Batman, Superman, Spider-Man, Disney, Givenchy are there? These are things that people want to collect. These are things that people already love. It's not like I just made a new IP and you have to convince the world that the new Dunn friends are valuable to the world, This is Disney. This is Mickey Mouse. This is Marvel. This is Givenchy. Billion-dollar companies. Once Omen NFT, game over. And shout out to the V friends out there. Shout out to Gary V, because what he's doing is inspiring, motivating, inspiring, game-changing. If anyone has the chance to be a Walt Disney in the next couple decades or century, I think it has a chance to be Gary V. I think his V friends could end up being very valuable over time. But we'll see what happens, It's very hard to create an IP out of thin air and make that valuable. So that's why I say it's a little bit safer, I think, to go with these IP brands like Disney, Marvel, Givenchy. But somebody like Gary V could pull that off. That's just why I'm a believer that most of those NFT projects on OpenSea may not last, because it's pretty hard to pull off creating an IP out of thin air and making the world see value in that. Green Goblin, as always, my man. Take it easy, brother. Appreciate you. One word, Banksy. Hey. I think there's been some teasing going on with this, some collectibles and some AMAs. Let's go. And man, I think we're just gonna constantly see this. I think being here season 1, 2, and 3 will hold a lot of weight in a lot of people's eyes in the future. And Kurosemi, I think the community is all waiting for him to come out and give us our praise, talk about VeVe in the light that we want. I think he's just being patient right now. I think there's reasons why. I think maybe in the future we could see, I don't know if it's a collaboration one day. I don't know what, but I think there has to be a reason why. Shout out to Gary if he's watching. He's too smart. He doesn't just follow people in the community for no reason. I think Kurosemi, he's gonna come out and talk about VeVe, whether it's a collaboration, partnership, I don't know for what it's gonna be exactly. But I think the community will eventually be happy to hear what he will say about it in the future. But maybe not. Maybe I'm wrong. But it's just kind of my feeling. There's no way someone like Gary V, follows all of us in the community. Not all of us, but follows people in our community. Punch. Maybe I'm wrong about it, but it's just kind of my sentiment. I think he's, too in tune almost to not understand what this really is. I'm going to pull up the one video. This is a video I found in March in 2021 when I was this is when I was spamming Gary's Instagram saying, you need to check out VeVe, you need to check out VeVe. And I found these other projects, researching them, trying to, see what's what. This is one of the videos that I screen recorded, and I was like, he knows about VeVe. This VeVe is it. VeVe, like, I thought he knew about it then. This is why.
In the individual NFTs, like the individual cards, and it's underrated as a project. It's insane what Roham and that team did to launch that. Overrated in the individual NFTs, like the individual cards, and it's underrated as a project. It's insane what Roham and that team did to launch that product. Flow, the consumability, the gamification, just an underrated execution. Like one of the things we'll look back on is one of the early things, kind of like a Yahoo or Ask Jeeves or Google or YouTube, like epic. Overrated are the individual top shots because it's like cards. There's too much supply, demand issues coming as the NFL, MLB, UFC, boxing, Muhammad Ali, Pele, like everything in the world's going to be NFT. So right now, a lot of the energy of sports and NFT go to this one project. Like there's going to be people held with the bag on a highlight of Terry Rozier making a pass or like a solid dunk by Jaren Jackson Jr. Like this is not like other IP. This is not Superman and Batman. Like the player matters.
This is not like Superman and Batman. The player matters. So when I heard that, I was like, oh my gosh, Superman or Batman? These are not like cards, And so that's what I was like, oh my gosh, this is VeVe. It's not like, random players that may only last a couple years in the league. This is the IP of Batman and Superman in premium digital format. So when Gary Vee talked about that, I was like, wow, this is it. Shout out to Evo Shex. Mortal after all. Let's go. APB got the secret rare. Let's go. I think he's messing with me. But it looks like the market's open. Let's take a look. Yep. All right. So 13 secret rare is going for 489. Got the ultra rare going for 101. You got the rare going for 40. Got the uncommon going for 20. Got the common going for 13. That's insane. Yeah, comments should definitely. That's like an easy come up right there. Yeah, he is invested in that company, Recur Minion. See, we don't know exactly what happened. We know he had a phone call, and we don't know what was said exactly. I think things will happen in the future, but maybe not. You know, maybe not. I wish I was on that call with Mr. Beast about pumping CryptoPunk Shady. Things are going to get crazy when MTL comes out. I think most people who want to cash out their gems already sold collectibles, so maybe the dip has already happened. MTL will take off. I mean, I just know for a fact how many of my friends are afraid to put in $20. And I mean, I can understand that. I mean, in their eyes, they haven't done the research that we have to understand the team that's involved, where the space is involved. They just see it as an app and they want to either try to make money or see a collectible that they like, but they know they can't cash out. Just imagine how many big time investors there are, and there's a decent amount of them who just are unwilling to have that confidence to put in millions of dollars or hundreds of thousands of dollars because they haven't done the research on their team. People like Lewis Morgan, you know, I always say they're kind of like visionaries. One, you know, it takes too many people have an ego to where they say, "Oh, I've already made it," etc. You know, he didn't do that. He got down on ground floor, got down with the community, had an open mind, learned something new, learned what this was, and gained trust and confidence to put his money in before we could even cash out. So people like that, I always look at and I always say that's like an inspiration because it shows that no matter how big you get, never get an ego that prevents you from learning new stuff. You're always a constant student of the game. And I always say I'm always like a sponge, you know, I'm always trying to soak up new information and then make my best estimate, make my best guess on whatever I feel is right or wrong. Secret Rare going back up. Looks like it's 489 right now. See how many have to be delivered still, though. Are they all delivered? Looks like they're all delivered. It looks like they got delivered quick, it looks like. So if they were all delivered when the market opened, that's why it's probably rising because, like I said, it's still going to start out low and then work its way up. But if it opened up when only a couple people had theirs, that's usually when it starts out high and works its way down. Definitely think it's an easy flip or an easy profit if people are selling them at 7. Commons are at 14. Uncommons are at 17. Rares are at 38. Ultra rares are at 102. And the secret rares are at 472. Appreciate you guys big time for coming on the stream today. Again, I'm going to go over the prices just for tomorrow's drop. I know it may not be everybody's favorite drop. So again, if you guys don't feel like it's something that you want to go for, VeVe's not convincing or forcing anybody to go for the drop. So don't feel like it's something you absolutely have to go for if you don't love it. I think VeVe is always great at kind of making us aware and learn about new artists that do drop. Not a bad idea, Season 3 OG. But again, so many artists on VeVe that we've never heard of that they kind of introduce us to, that we learn about. And so I think this is another one, Gary Basement. He does have a pretty big fan base, though. It's just something that I've never been familiar with his work of. The first common, 7,777 editions. There's actually 2 commons, 2 different poses on this one. One's like a welcoming pose. Another one's like a running away. Then the uncommon, 5,555 editions. This is the one that's lounging. The one that's on his head, that's the rare, 4,444. We got one that's laughing. That's the ultra rare, 3,333. And then we got one that's floating, the secret rare, 1,960. I'm gonna guess he was born in 1960. If there's 1,960 editions, it's probably why he did that. Doesn't say anywhere in the details, but I imagine that's probably the one to get right there. Just a guess off the edition count there. I will be live streaming the drop tomorrow, most likely. So if you guys are into the drop, tune in for that tomorrow. Till then, I will be signing out. Appreciate you guys big time for hopping on the stream today. We got a lot of L's. I don't know if one person got the drop today. If Meiji, you did get the drop, amazing job getting it. Most people struck out today. Shout out to APB if you did get the secret rare. I'm not sure how that's possible, but if you did and you weren't messing with me, shout out to you, brother. Great job on the drop. Till then, you guys will catch me tomorrow. Make sure you guys are subscribed. Any announcements I let go on YouTube, first ones to get it right away. I try releasing those things right away anytime VeVe tweets about it. Try posting it. So appreciate you guys big time. Till then, catch you on the next live stream. I'm signing out. It's your boy, Johnny Dunn. We out, fam.